Whenever you guys are ready.
We're ready to do this?
Okay.
You okay, Mike?
Yeah, okay.
All right. 3, 2. What comes after 2?
36.
Okay, you're 36. At least 36. Oh, hello again, everybody. We want to say this first. We have a Packers Hall of Famer and a future Pro Football Hall of Famer, Leroy Butler here, 6 feet, 197 out of Florida State. One of the greatest Packers of all time. I think so. And we, of course, have this video podcast, The Tom Pippin Show with John Dodge. Google The Tom Pippin Show or go to tompippins.com. And especially with Leroy Butler. After this segment, we're going out sponsors, so keep an eye and ear open. We're going to make this man some money, and we hope to have him back on numerous occasions. The Packers savant is John Dodge. It's a privilege to have you, Leroy. Thank you for coming out here to Heartland at Enters, owned by Pat Enters. We have a great crew here, and we're always privileged to be here. Drama in Green Bay.
Yeah.
You know, your alma mater. What is going on?
Well, I think, again, we're not used to this. I mean, if you're a millennial, you only saw 2 quarterbacks, and you can continue to see one in Aaron Rodgers. But for 13 years, everything was pretty much, stable. Everything was fine. And then all of a sudden, last year, the 100th season of the Green Bay Packers, things started to get a little rocky. So when Mike McCarthy was fired, no one really knew how to act. Still had some games to go. And still, I'm wondering about the fan base who is so loyal. But if you think about it, guys, the only time I saw the fan base separated is when Brett Favre went to Minnesota. You actually saw people who were hardcore Packer fans wearing purple Favre jerseys. I said to myself, I don't think I'll ever see this again. But it started to happen. So then you fast forward, they get the coach that they want, Matt LaFleur. I didn't see him on the radar, a lot of people didn't, but he seemed like a good fit. A young, innovative guy who can bring some new, fresh ideas because people thought Mike McCarthy was stale. Now, I was a big Mike McCarthy guy because anytime a coach can win a Super Bowl, to me, he has my respect. But the good thing about it, here's the good news to fan base out there everywhere. Mark Murphy is in the game now. He understands how to get this back on track. And I trust what he does. I really do. And
Now, coming from you, that means a lot because there's been a lot of criticism and people are concerned that he's, going somewhere where he shouldn't, even as a former player and a Super Bowl champion.
No, you're right.
But what is your point, and why are you such a believer?
Because Ron Wolf did it a certain way with Bob Hartley. Here's the GM. I'm going to get out of this way, run football operations. Well, he did that with Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy. Murphy said, you guys run it. But now it seems like I got to do it a little bit different because things were kind of different. So now Matt LaFleur will answer to Murphy. He want to bring everybody to the table like we're doing today, not just one guy. It's not just, Tom Pippin's show. John is here. We got people behind the scenes. I'm here. I think it's a better show.
I think it's the Leroy Butler show, don't you?
No.
We are giving up that Pippen's job. Most people think I'm John Milan anyway. What does it matter?
But he wanted to break down the silos and have scouts come in with reports. Coaches come in with their reports. Who do you like in the draft? Let's sit down and talk about it. I think things will be better because now Murphy's involved in it. So if it doesn't go right, he can honestly say I had something to do with it. But if he gets it back on track, win a Super Bowl, we have to point to this part of history to say Mark Murphy sat on the sidelines and got in the game and corrected everything. Since he was the one that fired, Mike McCarthy, to me it's okay for he'd be the one to hire Matt LaFleur. Now that gives Brian Gutekunst the freedom to do football operations. But I think for the most part, and you're right about that, Tom, people still don't like the way it's structured. I just don't have a problem with it.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a question. In 2011, Mike McCarthy had a historically good offense.
Yes, he did.
But in 2018, he became stale. Do you think it's personnel? Is that what happened?
It could be a combination of a lot of things. And now here's the thing about that stale offense. That's their offense. Had Aaron Rodgers, 2 MVPs, a lot of money. Jordy Nelson, a lot of money. Greg Jennings, a lot of money. Everybody under this umbrella made a lot of money. They put up record numbers. But for the most part, when you've done something for so long, the other defenses get paid too. And he tried to be loyal to his particular players and the overall offense. That's why when people were saying allegedly that Aaron Rodgers was changing plays, they weren't on the same page. Aaron in his mind was thinking, you know what? We put together these new plays, but we don't run them. And you know, coaches, John, they're stuck in their ways.
Yeah.
They won't change. This system works. Do what I ask you to do, and we can get to that level. But sometimes you got to talk to the privates and the colonels in the battle. You know, you got to talk to them too. And I think that's the disconnect of a natural born marriage that was a bad divorce. But now you have step kids involved, and that's the team. And they're watching these two parents fight. But see, one of them is gone, that's McCarthy, and everybody's looking at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron wants to do more things. McCarthy may want to run it a little bit more. They got off on the wrong page. But that's the word I hear more than anything. I've heard people say, I can call those plays. I know what they're going to do, because you've seen them forever. Now it's time, and I think we all agree that Mike McCarthy probably was going to get fired after the season.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way that he was fired during the season. People thought they should have gave him more respect to let him finish out. But at that time, it was a blaze. Good to put that fire out.
One potential issue is LaFleur seems to be a guy that wants the quarterback to be in the pocket and make decisions. When I talk to, when I interview players in the opponent locker room, they say that the beauty and the thing that makes Aaron Rodgers unique is the ability to extend plays, you have more options. Do you see that as a potential conflict coming, or do you think that LaFleur will say, I'll help you be more efficient in the pocket, but when there's nothing open, feel free to make the play?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I think it's a lot went into how do you coach Hall of Famer. Let's be honest. Aaron's a Hall of Famer. But he had so many coaches last year. Now this year, you got a quarterback's coach, you got an offensive coordinator, and you got a head coach that's going to also call plays. LaFleur has the luxury of building his team based on what he thinks is the best thing for the team. He wants to run the ball a lot. That's why he brought back Mercedes Lewis, Jimmy Graham, two big tight ends. They may even draft another tight end, or they may use Robert Tonyan. He wants to have 3 to 4 tight ends. You may see 2 or 3 fullbacks, because he wants to set up play action, get the ball out on the perimeter. But at the same time, you may not see Aaron Rodgers with the numbers Patrick Mahomes may have, and some of these other gaudy numbers, but he'll be more efficient. Aaron threw the ball away and got sacked combined more than any time in his whole career. LaFleur wants to limit that. More opportunities. This move to change. So if it's 3rd and 14, his receivers are going to run routes at 18, not at 24, and the ball hits the ground. It's going to be pay attention to detail. Detail. I think Aaron's going to enjoy this offense, because it's going to allow him to be the MVP he can be. If it's not there, he will run. But at the same time, we're better if you stay protected and you still stay healthy.
Leroy, we want to have the privilege of your thoughts on the draft and talk about your perspective, as John mentioned, coming out as a second rounder in 1990. But I want to ask you about Matt LaFleur. I understand who can know, right? I mean,
it's a lot of unknowns.
Yeah. He's a young man. So is McCarthy, about the same age. He doesn't have the persona, the strong personality of your old coach, Mike Holmgren. But do you feel, A, that he can get the job done, command the locker room, and B, can he connect with number 12, which obviously is job number 1, I would think?
That's also a good question. But if you think about it, let's be honest. If I'm 39 years old, I'm more comfortable hanging out with guys my age. Aaron Rodgers, 35. I'm not comfortable hanging out with guys 55 or 60 years old. We have nothing in common. So I think the brilliant part of hiring Matt LaFleur was you hire almost like a colleague and a partner for Aaron Rodgers to understand they think alike, because they both want to win. They both want to put up points. And if we disagree on how we get to those points, we're going to sit down and come up with a great plan with Nathaniel Hackett and say what's best for this team. Okay? And I think that's a good thing about it. So having a young coach at this point is good. It's good. It really is good because everything is starting to change now. So I don't want to be the get off my lawn guy, the prehistoric dinosaur type guy, to open it up because I'm 50 years old. I want to hang out with guys from Super Bowl 31 who are in their 50s.
What are you doing hanging out with our muscle monkeys?
You guys are in my
Older than
range too.
Methuselah, yeah. Oh, no.
But it just makes sense to do that, and I think they respect each other. That's why they've talked about it, how they're going to have a philosophy of doing the offense, and I think it's going to be good because guys are going to get a chance to voice their opinion. In the past, they really couldn't do that.
Want to go back to 1990?
Let's go back to 1990. This is the 100th anniversary of the Packers, so we like to look back on things. Tim and I both covered the 1990 draft, and the Packers had 2 number 1 picks, and then they had the 48th pick. The 48th pick, they took a defensive back from Florida State. Talk about, did you have any inclination that the Packers were going to take you, or bring us back to 1990?
Well, I tell you what, no, I really didn't. And I think I'll never forget this. I really thought the Houston Oilers were going to take, they spent more time with me. They talked to me intimately. I mean, I got in the room and did all the board, showed them coverages. I spent time with them. But I did talk to Dick Duran, who I liked very much, because he was just such a down-to-earth guy. If I ever get lucky enough, if God willing, I ever get into the Hall of Fame, he would be one of the few guys I will talk about, because it was just a few things that we talked about that made me think as a player what I could bring to the NFL, but I didn't think they were going to draft me. So when I got that phone call, it was different, because it was Lee Rummel. Lee Rummel is on the line. And he said, can I speak to Leroy Butler? You know how he talks. And I was frozen, like they're actually calling me.
Oh.
And I remember him putting Lindy Infante on the phone, and Lindy Infante was like, do you have any questions? Because we're thinking about selecting with the 48th pick. I said, yeah, coach. Where's Green Bay? Don't you guys play in Milwaukee? He goes, well, sometimes we play here, sometimes we play. He was explaining, and he was laughing. And I could hear people laughing in the background. He said, okay, we're going to select you, 48th pick. Go tell your family. I said, well, I'm in a separate room. We have rotary phones. I can't leave. It has this long cord on it, and they're still laughing. You have a rotary phone? I said, yeah, I'm in the inner city. It's the projects. All we have is devil eggs and water. We'll wait for this phone call. I mean, we got all these people in this apartment with no air conditioning. It's like 150 degrees in there. I mean, you saw the devil sitting on an ice cube with a fan like it's hot. It's hot. Is the phone going to ring? And they're dying laughing, so my family sees my name. My mom prays and thanks God. I love the opportunity, and I thank the Packers so much for giving me the opportunity. John, that never left my mind. I never wanted to go free agent anywhere, because I thought I owed it to the Packers for giving me an outlet and a platform to do something as an African American in the projects, in a wheelchair with club feet, coming to the most storied franchise. And it was 3 times. I was close to going free agent, but me and Ron Wolf, as men, we worked it out. And I think if you look at that particular draft in 1990, I don't know if as many guys stayed with their original team, but I just know I was one of them.
He is an author. The Leroy Butler story, of course, has been around from wheelchair to the Lambeau Leap. If you haven't read it, it's an incredible read. He is a chef. He is a businessman. Yeah. He is a broadcaster. He is extremely gifted, and I think it's worth mentioning as we speak to you. It's Holy Saturday. We've got Resurrection Sunday, and what Jesus did, and we've got Passover. Your mother, as you said, a woman of faith, God rest her soul, one day closer to seeing her. How much impact did she have on your life to become the person that you became, and the gift to connect with people, because as John said, that was one of your strong suits with the media. We can get into that. But talk a little bit about your
Yeah, well, my mom, as most parents are, they may not know it, but they're our true role models. And sometimes we take that for granted. I mean, I love grandparents mainly because of free babysitting. It's amazing. But my mom, because my dad and her got divorced when I was like 4, so she was the mom and the dad. And she used to always tell me how to deal with everything. Kids used to bully me in school for being poor. She told me to just ignore them. It's just like a game. And she asked me one day, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, I want to play in the NFL. I really do. I like the way one guy, he gets in this huddle in a circle, he yells at them, and they go do exactly what he just told them. I like that. And she started laughing. She never told me I couldn't do it. Most moms, even if it's negative, they're gonna figure out a way for how to, if you won't take it so personal if it doesn't happen. Because she told me that God gave everybody a talent, but you have to figure out what it is. And one of my talents was, if it's negative, I can block it out. I can block it out and just concentrate on the positive. And it was 3 words. 3 words I always thought about my whole life. It was God and the NFL. That's all I cared about. So if it was kids picking on other kids or rumor, nope, I don't want to hear about it unless you want to talk about, your faith, or you want to talk about the NFL. Because those are 2 things I know more about than anything. And she told me, don't give up. You're not the biggest, you're not the strongest, you're club feet, you're not real fast. Even my 40 time in the combine was like 4.5 something, I don't know, but it wasn't 4.3 like most guys. She said, you're just going to have an ability to do things that you want to be. But the main thing, I want you to network and get to know people. Because the more people get to know you, then there is no bullying. There's nothing negative they can say if you come down to their level or bring them up to where you are, or you get to their level. Just network and get to know people. And the thing about her real quick that she told me, I'll never forget this. We went to church. She used to take me to the kids' church, and we used to go down in the basement, like 200 kids down there. She said, you come back, I want you to know every kid in here's mom and dad's name and his name or her name. I said, Mom, that's kind of creepy. I can't do that. She said, no, I want you to do it. She got back a couple hours. I know every kid's name, their mom and dad. And it was awkward walking up to somebody, a stranger, and say, hey, my name is Leroy Butler. And from my address is 642 Court H. And where are you from? And whoa, come on. Now some kids are, hey, I'm from here, and I like pizza, you like pizza. But everybody started to like me, and I like them. So it was nothing negative to do. She just taught me to do that in all of my surroundings, and I just appreciate that gene that she gave me.
And you, of course, from that, it would seem, you were able to block out the negative, growing up in a challenging environment. You told the story about how Bobby Bob, when he he didn't want to get out of the car. But you were able to take that straight and narrow path, and then, as it relates to Mom and all the lessons you learned, you're still striving for excellence. And I think I can sincerely say, and anybody who knows you would agree, the excellence goes beyond the football field in every endeavor. Is that part of that motivation comes from back then?
Absolutely. I do quite a few things in the community. People ask me all the time, why do you still live in Wisconsin? I said, what do you mean? What's wrong with Wisconsin? I said, think about it. This is the best state anywhere. What are you talking about, Leroy? We got an MVP in football, baseball, and we'll have one in basketball. Let me know what your state's doing right now. Not to mention, people seem in Wisconsin, I go to Pick and Save or the mall, people genuinely like each other. In other states, and I'm from Florida, you don't see that. So it's easy for me to be amongst the people who I call my owner because they have their stock certificate in their basement, and I've signed thousands of them. I just think it's a great way for a story to end for anybody. That I do ask some of the ex-players why they don't live in Wisconsin, and they want the weather. Well, listen, if it's cold, stay inside. I'm okay with it. It's just, I just enjoy Wisconsin. And it goes back to that phone call I got from Lee Rummel, and I felt I had to be loyal to this state. and loyal to the Green Bay Packers.